Ed went out and got a bunch of new orders.
My, if this keeps on, I suppose you'll be opening up a store soon.
That's what Ed was saying last night, but I said no. I want to be a dancer.
The only trouble with dancing is it takes so long. You've been studying for such a long time.
Only 8 years. After all, Mother, you've been writing plays for 8 years.
Yes.
We started about the same time, didn't we?
But you shouldn't count my first 2 years. I was learning to type.
I think the candy's hardening up now, Miss Bessie. Oh, thanks, Reba. I'll bring some in, Mother. I want you to try it.
Finish the second act, Mr. Sycamore? Oh, what?
I said, did you finish the second act?
Oh, no, Rita. I just got Cynthia into the monastery.
She was a Kit Kat, wasn't she?
Well, she gets tired of the Kit Kat Club, and there's this monastery, so she goes there.
Do they let her in?
Yes, I made it visitor's day, and so of course anyone can come.
Oh.
So she arrives on visitor's day and just stays.
I mean, she stays all night.
Oh yes, she stays 6 years.
6 years? My, I bet she's in the monastery wide open.
6 years
Mr. Topeka, will you bring up one of those new skyrockets? I want you to go to Mr. Sycamore. Sure. Look, Penny. What do you think of these little firecrackers we just made? We can sell them 10 strings for 1 cent. Listen. Nice, huh?
Yes. How old are you? Were you ever in a monastery?
No, I wasn't. Wait till you see the new skyrocket. Gold stars, blue stars, and then a bomb. Boom! And then a balloon. Mr. Topeka thought of the balloon.
Sounds lovely. Did you know that today?
Sure we did. Here we are. Cost us 18 cents to make. And we can sell them for 50. How many do you figure we can make before the 4th of July, Mr. Topeka?
Well, we got 2 weeks yet. What day are you going to take that stuff up to Mount Vernon?
In about a week. You know we're going to have to get a bigger booth this year, since we've got a lot of stuff made up. Well, we're not through yet.
Mr. Sycamore, I'm afraid the balloon is too close to the powder chamber.
Well, we've got the stars, and then bombs that we
But that don't give a balloon time. A balloon needs plenty of time.
Well, let's go down the cellar and try it.
All right.
Mr. Topeka, if the girl you loved at the monastery, what would you do?
Oh, I don't know, Mr. Sycamore. It's been so long.
Miss Bessie gonna be home? I mean, Miss Alice gonna be home for dinner tonight, Mr. Sycamore?
What? I don't know, Reba. Maybe.
Well, she's only been home 1 night this week, but I'll set a place for her anyway.
Yes, I know.
Miss S is making some mighty good candy out there in the kitchen. She's doing something new with coconuts.
That's nice.
Let's see. 6, Mr. Tina, and if Mr. Plainville comes, that makes 8, don't it? Yes, I'm better set for 8.
Reba, I think I'll put this play away for a while and go back to the war play.
Oh, I always like that one. The war play. Boom! Boom! They'll be better when they're harder, Mother. But try one. I want to know what you think.
They look lovely. What do you
dreams.
Yes, that's nice. I'm going back to the workplace, Nancy. What do you think?
Oh, are you, Mother?
Yes, I sort of got myself into a monastery and I can't get out.
Oh, well, it'll come to you, Mother. Remember how you got out of that brothel? The snakes look hungry. Did Reba feed them?
I don't know. Reba, did you feed the snakes?
No, Donald's coming. He went for his flag with him.
Well, try to feed them before Grandpa gets home. You know how fussy he is about them.
Yes.
And here, take Groucho and Harpo into the kitchen. I think I'll have another love drink.
Mr. DePino is right about the balloons. They were too close to the powder.
When I love you, Father, they're on the table.
No thanks, I have to wash.
I'm going back to the workplace, Paul.
Oh, that's nice. We're putting some red stars after the bomb, and then the balloon.
You know, Mr. Flintoff says I'm his most promising pupil.
You think, with 40 months and one girl, that something would happen.
Nancy, listen to this.
I like it, Ed. Did you write it?
No, Pedro.
Lovely. Got a lot of you in it. I made these new candies this afternoon, Ed. You can take them around tonight.
Alright, here's the end. This is me. Like it?
That's fine, Ed. Remember when Flintoff comes, will you?
Ed, dear, why don't you and Essie have a baby? I was just thinking about that the other day.
Well, you can have one if you want us to. How about it, Essie? You want to have a baby?
I don't care. I'm willing to if Grandpa is.
Labor play, religious play, sex play. Oh, I know it too, somewhere.
I was right about the balloon. Too close to the powder.
Anything you want to finish, Mr. Lupino? How about some more calling cards?
No thanks. I've still got my first note.
Well, come on, son.
Alright.
What's for dinner, Reba? I'm ready to spend the menu.
Let's see. Corn flakes, watermelon, some of those candies my sister made, and some kind of meat. I forget.
I think I'll print and we'll finish shelf again. And if I'm going to take those candies around tomorrow, I better print some description after dinner.
Do you think anybody reads those things, Ed? That you put in those green boxes? Ah, here's the workplace. Poison gas. I guess that's Donald. Look at Reba's smile.
Boyfriend, eh, Reba?
They're awfully cute, Donald and Reba. Sort of like Anthony and Cleopatra. Hello, Reba. Donald!
Evening, everybody.
Hi, Donald. How have you been?
Oh, I'm pretty good, Mr. Ed. How you been, Mrs. Sycamore?
Very well, thank you. Donald,
Yes, ma'am?
were you ever in a monastery?
No. I don't go to no place much. I'm on relief.
Ah, yes, of course.
Oh, here's those flies, Reba. Got a whole mess of them today.
You sure did.
I see you've been working, Mrs. Sycamore.
Yes, indeed, Donald.
Well, how's Grandpa?
Just fine. He's over at Columbia this afternoon. The commencement exercise.
My, you certainly do roll around.
When did you go there all the time for, Penny?
I don't know. It's so handy. Just around the corner.
Oh, Don, take the fireworks up to Mount Vernon next week. Can you give us a hand?
Yes, sir. Only thing is, I can't take no money for it this year. If the government finds out I've been working, they'll get sore.
Hey, Ed. I just came up with a wonderful idea in the bathroom just now. I was reading Trotsky. It's yours, isn't it? Yeah, I left it there.
Who is it?
You know, Trotsky. The Russian Revolution.
Oh.
Anyhow, it struck me as a great fireworks idea. Remember the last days of Pompeii?
Oh, yes. Palisades Park. That's where we met.
I'm going to do the revolution. A full-hour display.
Say,
Oh, that's wonderful.
Red fire's the flag, huh? Sure. And the Tsar. And the Cossacks.
and the freeing of the slaves.
No, Don. The Russian Revolution. Hello, Grandpa.
Well, you should have been there. That's all I can say. You should have been there.
Was it a nice commencement, Grandpa?
Oh, it was wonderful. They get better every year. You don't know how lucky you are, you're a snake.
Big class this year, Grandpa? How many were there?
Oh, must have been 2 acres. Everybody graduated. Yes, sir. And much funnier speeches than they had last year.
You want to hear a good speech, you go out and listen to Father Divine.
I'll wait. They'll have him at Columbia.
Donald, we just come here to that Grandpa's home, and we won't wait to miss out.
Yes, ma'am. Reba, Grandpa's home. We can have supper now.
We made some new skyrockets today. Just wait till you see them.
Good evening, Grandpa. Well, good evening, Mr. DePina.
Didn't we make some fine skyrockets today, Mr. DePina?
Certainly did.
I wonder why they don't have fireworks at commencement.
Well, they don't make enough noise. Now, you take a good commencement order, and he'll drown out a whole truckload of fireworks. He'll say just about as much, too.
Don't the graduates ever say anything?
So, they just sit there in their cap and nightgown and get their diplomas. Then, about 40 years from now, they suddenly say, "Where am I?"
Hello, Grandpa. Have a nice day.
Well, have a nice day. Maybe you tip?
Excuse me, Grandpa.
I believe I'll have a tomato, too. You know, I could have used a couple of these this afternoon.
Father?
No thanks.
Mother? Nothing.
Well, play something, Ed.
There was a letter that came for you, Grandpa. Did you get it?
A letter? For me? I don't know anybody.
It was for you, though. It had your name on it.
Well, that's funny. Where is it?
I don't know. Where's Grandpa's letter, Mother? What, dear? Where's the letter that came to Grandpa last week? I don't know. Oh, I remember seeing the kittens on it.
Well, who is it from? Did you notice?
Yes. It was on the outside.
Well, who was it?
The United States government.
I wonder what they wanted.
There was one before that, too, from the same people. There were a couple of them.
Well, if any more come, I wish you'd let me know.
Yes, Grandpa.
You know, I think I'll go out to Westchester tomorrow and do a little snake hunting.
God is the state, and the state is God.
What's that?
God is the state, and the state is God.
Well, who says that?
Trotsky.
Oh, that's okay. I thought you said it.
It's nice and pretty, you know. Nice and short.
I Father.
Hello, darling.
Hi, Grandpa. And what do you think? They turned into this in more family. Eyes.
Oh, Alice, I like it. It's new, isn't it?
Looks nice and summery.
Where did you get it?
Oh, I took a walk during lunch hour.
You've been taking a lot of walks lately. That's the second new dress this week.
Oh, I just like to brighten up the office once in a while. I'm known as the cave, for instance, but the serving. So what's new around here and what ballet dancing, fireworks. Dad, I bet you've been down that cellar all day.
Huh?
I'm going back to the workday, Alice. Really, Mother.
Dad, play Alice that Beethoven thing that you wrote.
You know, you can mail a letter all the way from Nicaragua now for 2 pesetas.
Really?
My virginity is a priceless thing to me. Listen, people, listen. I'm not home to dinner. Your young gentleman is calling for me.
Really? Who is it?
Well, isn't that nice? I did everything I could to keep him from coming here. But he's calling for me. Well, why don't you both stay for dinner? No, I want him to take you to easy doses. I've tried to prepare him a little. But don't make it any worse than you can help. Don't read him any plays. And don't let us take my grandpa, because I like him. And I wouldn't dance with him tonight. We're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet.
Can't do anything. Well, who is he? The President of the United States?
No, he's Vice President of Kirby Company, Mr. Anthony Kirby Jr.
The boss's son?
Wow, boss's son, just like the movie.
That explains the new dresses.
And not being home for dinner for 3 weeks.
Why, Sherlock Holmes.
Are you going to marry him?
Yeah, tonight. Meanwhile, I have to go and put my wedding dress on.
Is he good looking?
Yes, in a word. Does anybody know what time it is? I don't know. Does anyone know what time it is?
I think Mr. Topeka might. It is about 5 o'clock. A couple hours ago.
Well, will you let me know the minute he comes, please? Of course, dear. Yes, but I mean the minute he comes. Why, of course. Well, be sure. Well, what do you think of that?
Well, she seems to like him, if you ask me.
I should say so. She's got it bad.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if she married him? We could have the wedding right here in this room.
Come now, Penny. This is the first time he's ever called.
You only called for me once.
Young people are different nowadays.
Oh, I don't know. Look at Edmund.
He came to dinner once.
It's a stay.
Anyhow, I think it's wonderful. Don't you, Grandpa?
Well, she certainly seems happy about it.
You must be crazy about her. Maybe he's the one who's been taking her out every night. There he is. Never mind, Reba. I'll get it. Now remember what Alice said. Very nice.
How do you do?
I'm Alice and you come right in. Here we are. Now, this is Grandpa. Alice's father. Her sister Essie. And Essie's husband. Well, give me your hat and make yourself right at home.
I'm afraid you must be making a mistake.
How's that?
My car.
Wilbur C. Henderson, Internal Revenue Department.
That's right.
How can we help you?
Does a Mr. Martin Vanderhoff live here?
Why, yes, that's me.
Well, Mr. Vanderhoff, the government wants to talk to you about a little matter of income tax.
Income tax?
You mind if I sit down?
No, go right ahead.
Hey,
No, it isn't, darling. It's an internal something or other. Pardon me.
Mr. Sycamore. Oh, excuse me. What is it? It's these things. Gosh, now, Mr. Peanut, since Grandpa's busy. Pardon me. Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, we have written you several letters about this, but have not had any reply.
Oh, that's what those letters were.
I told you they were from the government.
According to our records, Mr. Vanderhoff, you have never paid an income tax.
Well, that's right.
Why not?
Well, I don't believe it.
Well, you own property, don't you?
Yes, sir.
And you receive a yearly income from it.
I do.
Between $3,000 and $4,000 a year.
It's about that.
You've been receiving it for years.
I have. 1901, to be exact.
Well, the government is only concerned from 1949. That's when the income tax starts. Well, it seems, Mr. Vanderhoff, that you owe the government 24 years back income tax.
Wait a minute. You can't go back that far. Sounds like
That was your
what does it matter?
never filed an income tax return?
No, sir.
Ah! And what was your income last year?
$28.50. Was it invested?
Yes, sir.
If you please. Now, Mr. Vanderhoff, you realize there's quite a penalty for not filing an income tax return.
Penalty?
Now, Mr. Henderson, let me ask you something. Well, suppose I pay you this money. Mind you, I don't say I'm going to, but just for the sake of argument, what's the government going to do with it?
How do you mean?
Well, what do I get for my money? If I go into Macy's and I buy something, well, there it is, I see it. What is the government going to do for me?
Why, the government gives you everything. It protects you.
From what?
Well, invasion. Foreigners that might come over here and take everything you've got.
Well, I don't think they're going to do that.
If you didn't pay an income tax, they would. And how do you think the government keeps up? The Army and Navy, all those battleships.
Well, the last time we used battleships was in the Spanish-American War. And what did we get out of that? Cuba. We had to give that back. I wouldn't mind paying if it were for something sensible.
Sensible! What about the Congress? Supreme Court? And the President? Them, no we.
Not for my money. No, sir.
Now wait! I'm not here to argue. All I know is you haven't paid an income tax. Got it.
Well, you've got to show me.
Don't have to show you. I just told you. What about the Congress? The Supreme Court and interstate commerce and the Constitution.
Well, the Constitution was paid for long ago. And as for interstate commerce, what is interstate commerce anyway?
48 states. For interstate commerce, things couldn't go from one state to another.
Well, why not? They got, fences?
No, they haven't got fences! They've got laws. Mine. I have never crossed anything like this before.
Well, I might pay about $75, but that's all it's worth.
You'll pay every cent like everybody else. Hey, Nancy, listen to this. And let me tell you something else. You'll go to jail if you don't pay. Do you hear that? It's the law. If you think you're better than the law, you've got another thing coming. You're no better than anybody else, and the sooner you get that through your head, the better. You'll be hearing from the United States government. That's all I can say.
Look out for those snakes.
How was that?
Fine, Ed.
Down to you folks. I like it.
My goodness, he was mad, wasn't he?
Oh, it's not his fault. It's just that the whole thing is so silly.
He forgot his hat.
Say, what size is that hat?
7 and an 8.
Just right for me. What the fellow anyway?
This must be Mr. Kirby.
You better make sure.
Yes, I will.
Yes.
Come right in. We can expect from you. Come right in. This is really Mr. Kirby. Now, I'm Alice's mother. That's Mr. Sycamore. Alice's grandfather. Her sister Essie. And Essie's husband. There. Now you know all of us. Give me your hat and make yourself right at home. Yes, it is. He's lovely. Will you be seated?
Thank you. I hope I'm not keeping you from dinner. Oh, no, not at all. Have a tomato?
No, thanks.
How about a piece of candy?
No, thanks.
Oh, I forgot to introduce Mr. Topeka. This is Mr. Topeka.
How do you do? Wasn't there any about your father the other day? Wasn't he indicted or something? Oh, hardly that. He just testified before the security division.
I'm sure there was nothing to do about it, Mr. Topeka. As a matter of fact, Alice has often told me what a lovely man your father is.
Well, I know Father couldn't get along without Alice. She knows more about the business than any of us.
You're awfully young, Mr. Kirby. Aren't you? To be vice president of a big place like that?
Well, you know what that means, Vice President. All I get to desk is my name on it.
Is that all? Don't you get any salary?
Well, a little. More than I'm worth, I'm afraid.
Now you're just being modest.
It all sounds kind of dull to me. Wall Street. Do you like it?
Well, the hours are short. And I haven't been there that long.
Just out of college, huh?
Well, I knocked around for a while. Just sort of had fun.
Well, what did you do? Travel?
A little. Then I went to Cambridge for a year.
England.
That's right.
Say, did you see any English commencements? What are they like?
Very impressive.
They are, huh?
Anyhow, now the fun's over and I'm out facing the world.
Well, you certainly got a good start. Vice president and a rich father.
Well, that's hardly my fault.
So now I suppose you're all ready to settle down and get married?
Come now, Penny. I'm sure Mr. Kirby knows his own mind.
I wasn't making up his mind for him. Was I, Mr. Kirby?
That's quite all right, Mrs. Sycamore.
You see, you mustn't rush him, Mother. All I meant was, he's bound to get married sometime, and suppose the wrong girl gets him. Well, here I am. Apparently you've all had time to just fix it? Oh, yes, indeed. We were just having a delightful talk about love and marriage. Oh, dear, I came down as fast as I could.
I didn't mind the room.
Darn those fires in the kitchen. Oh, Miss Alice, you look beautiful. Where are you going? I'm going out, Reba. Stand in the car. That must be Glencoe. I think you'd better be going, Toby.
All right. Grandpa, you take reminder cornflakes. I forget.
Half and half, Donald. Ah, little Robishka. That's Glencoe, all right.
Yes, sir, Mr. Glencoe.
Good evening, everybody. Grandpa, what do you think? Got a better letter from Russia. The second 5-year plan is a failure. Oh,
I beg to say, Mr. Glencoe.
my love, Bob.
Well, if you'll excuse us, Mr. Glencoe.
My little Alice. Never have I seen you look so magnificent.
So this is Mr. Glencoe. That's his Stanford teacher, Mr. Kirby.
How do you do? How do you do?
If you'll excuse us, Mr. Glencoe, we're going to the Monte Carlo Ballet.
Monte Carlo, eh? It's
Yes, well, goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.
Bye. It was so nice to have met you all. Goodbye.
Monte Carlo.
Isn't Mr. Kirby lovely? Come on, everybody, dinner.
I thought it's nice clothes, didn't you?
I'm so good looking. And he had such nice manners. Did you notice, Paul? Did you notice his manners?
I certainly did. I also noticed that you were getting pretty personal with him.
Now, Paul, I think he's a very nice young man.
He looks like a cousin of mine.
Mom, Diablo. Then you had the ballet.
I think if they get married here, we'll put the altar right there where the snakes are. You wouldn't mind running over to.
Well, not if the snakes don't.
Oh no, don't want to get married in the church. His family and everything.
Quiet, everybody. Quiet.
Well, sir, we've been getting along pretty good for quite a while now, and we're much obliged. Remember, all we ask is to just go along and be happy in our own sort of way. Of course, we want to keep our health, but as far as everything else is concerned, we'll leave it up to you. Thank you. So, the second 5-year plan is
Every night of the week. I think they're marvelous.
They are, aren't they? But of course, just walking inside anything would just be a thrill.
Yes, well, it's been so lovely for me. I hate to have it over.
Oh, is it over? Do I have to go right away?
Not if you don't want to.
I don't.
Would you like a cold drink?
That'd be wonderful.
I'll stay with you in the icebox. Want to come along?
I called you to the end of the earth.
Oh, just the dishes, you know.
Well, I like it. You've done it very simply, haven't you?
Lucky you're not hungry, Mr. King. An ice pot full of cornflakes. That gives you a rough idea of the second one anyway. I'll take mine with the last.
There you are. What will you be?
Now it's cold.
Now, feel free to see it. I'd like to offer it.
I am feeling.
This is yours to you.
Thank you, Mr. King. To you.
You know something?
What?
I wouldn't trade a minute of this evening for all the rice in China.
Really?
Cross my heart.
Is there much rice in China?
Terrific. Didn't you eat the bitters? Well, I suppose I ought to go.
Is it very late?
Very. I don't want to go.
I don't want to.
Okay, I won't. So, when do you get your vacation?
The last 2 weeks been August.
I might take mine too.
Really?
What are you going to do?
I don't know. I haven't thought much about it.
Going away, do you think?
I might not. I like the city for the summertime.
I do too.
Really? But don't you usually go up to me?
That's right. Oh, but I'm sure I would like the city. Oh, Alice, you know what I mean. I'd rather be here.
Well, I'd like you to do your tea company.
You know what you're saying, don't you?
What?
That you'd rather spend the summertime with me than anyone else?
What I?
Well, if it's true about the summer, then how about the winter?
Yes, I'd like that too.
Then there's spring and autumn. If you can see your way clear about those mistakes,
I might.
I guess that's the whole year then. We haven't forgotten anything, have we?
No.
Oh.
Is that you, Alice? What time is it? Oh, excuse me, Mr. Kirby. I had no idea that it's... I didn't mean to interrupt it.
That's quite alright.
No, Mother. I just came down with my manuscript and then you can go right ahead. Here's the play. Sex makes a holiday. Well, good night, Tony.
Good night, Mr. Simmons.
Oh, I can do coffee. Don't you, Alice? At least I hope so.
What was that?
Oh, that's just Father.
Oh. At this time of night?
This time of night. Any time of night. Any time of day.
You know something? You're more lovely, more beautiful, and more adorable than anyone else in the whole world.
Don't, Tony.
What? Oh, my dear, just because you're lovely. Well, all mothers are like that, Alice. And Danny's a darling. You see? I'm even calling her Penny.
I don't mean that. Look, Tony, this is something I should have told you a long time ago. But I didn't have to finish. I let myself be swept away. But I love you.
Darling.
Darling, listen. I want to make it clear to you. There's a different world, a whole different kind of people. I don't need money or socially. That's just good. Your family, mine, it just wouldn't work for me. It wouldn't work.
All right, have it your way. She can't dance. That's why they pay her all that money, because she can't dance.
Well, and Ginger Rogers. Do you teach in the band, Mr. Kirby?
Why, yes. I always thought so.
What does she do anyhow? Now look, your friend's here and I'm Ginger Rogers. As you see, I only have to use it for a minute. Now look, Mr. Kirby. Look, Ed, you're just as good as Ginger Rogers. We all agree. You see, Ed?
Yeah, let's go, Wesley. We're buddying here.
Oh, they've been together all evening. Good night, Alex. Good night, Mr. Kirby.
Good night, Mrs. Carmichael.
Good night. Yoshi, what did you have to say about having that baby?
See, that's what it would be like.
Oh, I didn't mind that. Anyhow, I'm not going to live with them. You and I.
No, it's never quite like that. I love them, Tony. I love them as people. Some people could break away, but I couldn't. I know they do rather strange things, but they're fun, and they're happy, and I don't know, there's a sort of nobility about them.
Alice, you talk as though only you could understand me. That's not true. Why, every family has got their curious little traits. What of it? My father raised an orchard for $10,000 a bowl. How is that sensible? And my mother believes in spiritualism. Well, that's just as bad as your mother writing plays, isn't it?
Your mother thinks spiritualism is fashionable, and your father raises orchards because he can afford to. My mother writes plays because 8 years ago, a typewriter was delivered here by mistake.
But darling, what of it?
And look at Grandpa. 35 years ago, he just quit business one day. He started up to his office on the elevator and came right back down. He just quit. He said it took too much time. So now, for 35 years, he's just collected mistakes, gone to trade, business. It never hurts any of them.
Good evening, children.
Good evening, Mr. Vanderhoff.
How's the weather? Looks like a fine summer's evening.
It's lovely.
Well, I'm off, Mr. Kirby. I've got a date with a policeman on the corner.
A policeman?
Oh, yes. We've got a standing date. 12:30 every night. I've known him since he was a kid. He's really a doctor, but after he graduated, he came to me and said that he didn't want to be a doctor. He always wanted to be a policeman. So I said, well, you go ahead and be a policeman, if that's what you want to be. That's exactly what he did. Oh, hey. How do you like my new hat?
It's very nice, Mr. Vanderhoff.
Yeah, I like it. The government gave it to me.
Oh, excuse me. I didn't know you folks was in here. Reba faces and gave me. Oh, there it is. Y'all don't want it, do you?
No, Donald.
Thanks. Did you have a nice evening?
Yes, Donald.
Nice supper?
Yes, Donald.
What's the ballet night?
Yes, Donald.
That's nice.
And look at Donald. How could you explain him to him? Or Grandpa? You couldn't, Tony. I love you, Tony, but I love you.
There's only one thing you said that matters, that makes any sense at all. You love me.
I don't feel well.
But darling, don't you think other people have had the same problem? Everyone's got a family.
But not like mine.
But that doesn't stop people from loving each other, does it, darling? Won't you trust me and go on loving me and forget everything else?
How can I?
Because nothing can keep us apart. You know that. You must know. They want you to be happy, don't they?
Of course they do. But they can't change. I would love them.
They don't have to change. They're charming, lovable people just as they are. Alice, you're worried about something that you never come on.
Am I?
All that matters right now is that we love each other. Yes, so. Oh. Now, I'd like to see a little baby around here. Young gentlemen calling and getting engaged and everything.
What do I say?
Well, first you thank the young gentleman for getting engaged.
Thank you, Mr. Kirby, for getting engaged to me.
And then you tell him what it was about him the first week of girlish stuff.
The back of your head.
Huh?
The back of your head. It wasn't your charm. Or your money. It was the back of your head.
But what happened when I turned around?
I got used to it.
Wow, we're pretty lucky.
I know I am. I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
Well, I'm not exactly unlucky myself. I guess good night, darling. Isn't it wonderful that we work in the same office? Otherwise, I'd be hanging around here all day.
Won't it be funny at the office tomorrow? Going on as though nothing happened?
Oh, thank God I'm vice president. I can dictate to you all day. Dear Miss Sidney, I love you. I love you. I love you.
Darling, you're such a little.
Why don't you meet me in the drugstore in the morning before you go up to the office? I'll have millions of things to say to you.
But tell me, what will people think?
Well, you've got to come out sometime. In fact, if you know a good house style, I'd like to do a little shouting.
Yes, sir, Mr. Topeka. We did a fine job tonight.
Let's see. 500 Black Panthers, 300 Willow Trees, and 8 dozen Junior Kitty Bounties.
Very good. Why, hello, Alice. Did you just come in?
No, I've been home for a while.
Did you have a nice night?
It was wonderful, Father.
Say, I'd like you to take a look at this new red fire. Would you turn out the lights so that you can get the full effect? Take a look at this new red fire. It's beautiful.
Oh, Father, it's the bestest red fire in the world. All right, let's let down. You can take your old stuff. I'm ready to reach for your legs. Anytime you are. Just a minute, Mary, just a minute. The only thing is, I hope you don't mind me mentioning this, but you don't drink while you're acting, do you, Miss Wellington? I'm just asking, of course. I'm glad you brought it up. Once the play opens, I never touch a drop. The minute I enter a stage door, the bottle gets put away until intermission.
Have you been on the stage a long time, Miss Wellington?
All my life, I've played everything. Ever see Peg on my heart?
Well, yes.
I saw too. Such show, ain't it? My hot night, isn't it?
Want me to open up the window, Miss Wellington?
Nah, heck with the weather. Say, he's cute.
It's alright, Reva, it's alright. She was acting, that's all.
Well, anytime you're ready, move up to my room and start. I thought we'd do the play up in my room.
Alright, Gary. I'm ready.
Oh, but those are real.
When I see snakes, it's time to lay down.
Dear, I hope she's not going to.
She's out like a light. You better let her sleep it off.
Miss Wellington just passed out.
You think she'll be all right?
Well, yes. But I wouldn't cast her in the religious play.
Well, I suppose I'll just have to wait.
The next time you meet a famous actress on the top of a bus, Penny, I think I'd send her the play instead of bringing her home to read it.
Dad, I wish you'd stop grinning and take those love rings around. You've got to be back in time to play for me when Blancock comes.
Oh, Blancock coming tonight?
Yes, tomorrow night's tonight, but I had to change it on time with Alice.
Oh, big doings around here tomorrow night, huh?
Isn't it exciting? You know, I'm so nervous you'd think it was me he was getting engaged to instead of Alice.
I wonder what they'll feel like, his mother and father. Ed, what are you doing now?
See you do nothing to that night, Jenny? Guess who it is?
Don't tell me. Wait a minute. Helen of Troy?
Mrs. Roosevelt.
You know, the nice things about these here comic sets is you can make so many different things with them. Last week it was the Empire State Building.
Well, what is it this week?
Queen Mary.
She hasn't got the right hat on.
Miss Topeka, look outside and see this man standing in front of the house.
Why? What for?
Well, the past few days I've been out delivering candy. There's been a man following me.
Oh, Ed, you're crazy.
No, I'm not. He follows me, he stands, he watches the house. I'll take over the street.
I don't know what anybody would want to follow you around for, Ed.
Well, there's a lot of kidnapping going on, Grandpa.
Yes, but not of Ed.
Well, did you see anything?
There's nobody out there at all. Are you sure? Positive. Why, I just saw him walk away.
See?
Oh, it could have been anybody walking along the street. We hurry and get back.
Before we go down there, Mr. Safety Warren, we're expecting up the fireworks.
Oh yes, we have to finish packing the fireworks, but we go up to the Mount Vernon in the morning.
Mother, can I borrow a piece of paper?
Yes, dear.
No, wait, for tomorrow night. Well, what happened to your actress friend? Did she give me a performance? No, Alice, she isn't. She's really drunk. Here. Effie, dear, you are going to give Reba tuition all day tomorrow, aren't you? She'll need it.
Oh, of course, Alice. I'll go start on some love news right now, so I'll be way ahead.
Thanks, dear. Look, Mother, I'll be home at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Will you have everything down in the cellar by then? The typewriter, the snake, the xylophone.
And Miss Wellington.
That will give me time to arrange the table and fix the flowers.
My, Kirby's certainly are going to get the wrong impression of this house.
You'll do all that, won't you, Mother? Of course, dear. And I think we'd better have cocktails ready by 7:15, in case they happen to come a little early. Grandpa, do you think I should let Reba cook the dinner tomorrow?
Now, Alice, I wouldn't worry. From what I've seen of the boy, I'm sure the Kirbys are wonderful people. And if everything isn't so elaborate tomorrow night, it'll be all right, too.
Darling, I'm not trying to impress them or pretend that we're anything that we aren't. I just want everything to go off well.
Well, there's no reason why it shouldn't, Alice.
Yes, we're all going to do everything we can to make a nice party.
Oh, my darling, I love you. You're the most wonderful family in the world. And I'm the happiest girl in the world. I never thought anyone could be so happy. This past week has been like floating. He's so wonderful, Grandpa. I just see him. You don't know what it does to me.
Just seeing him, just seeing him for lunch and for dinner until 4 o'clock in the morning. And then, the next morning at 9 o'clock, you're at the office again, and there he is. Just seeing him,
I don't care. I'm in love. Reba! Reba!
Nice, isn't it? Nice to see her so happy.
Yes. I remember when I was engaged to Paul, how happy I was. And you know what? I still feel the same way.
Yes, I know. And, it's nice the way Ed and Essie get along too, isn't it?
And Donald and Reba, even though they're not married. Do you suppose Mr. Tina will ever get married?
Well, there's always Miss Wellington.
Oh dear, I wish she'd wake up. Everyone's going to play tonight.
Look for that, huh? Remember?
Of course! It's my painting of yours in the discus drawer. Look, Grandpa.
Yes, I remember. Say, you've got a little ball, haven't you, Mr. Dean? You're very noticeable. Right here.
Well, it was a long time ago. Just before I stopped being and let me see events. 8 years.
Wish you would have finished in the 16 months.
Oh, I always meant to finish it, Mr. Tina. It's just, I started to write a play one day, and that was that. I never painted again.
It's a good thing, too. I was going to have to script next.
Who would have thought, kid, that I came here to deliver the eyes, that I was going to stay for 8 years.
Oh, the milkman was here for 5. He's just ahead of you.
Say, why did you leave anyhow? I forget.
He didn't leave. He died.
Yes, he was a very nice man. Remember the funeral, Grandpa? We never knew his name, and it was kind of hard to get a certificate.
Yes, what was the name we finally made up for him anyway?
Martin Vanderhoof. We gave him your name.
Oh, yes, I remember.
It was a lovely thought, or otherwise he would have never gotten all those flowers.
I'll say. And it didn't hurt me any. I'm not bothered with telephone calls anymore. And I haven't had any mail from that day to this.
Yes, it was really a wonderful idea.
I wish you'd finish this sometime, Mrs. Sycamore. I'd really like to have it.
You know what, Mr. Topeka? I think I'll do some work on it right tonight.
Say, will you?
I don't think she's going to wake up anyhow. Look, Mr. Topeka, why don't you go down to the cellar and put on your hat and bring up the easel? Is it still down there?
I think so.
Now, where did I put my palette and brushes?
Ravichka! My little Ravichka!
Yes, sir, Mr. Plankoff. Hello, Mr. Plankoff. I see the kitchen.
Madame Sycamore, I greet you. Tell me, Grandpa, what should I do about Ravichka? I keep telling her she'd make a great toe dancer, but she laughs only.
No, sir, I couldn't get up on my toes, Mr. Plankoff. I got corn.
Ravichka, you've got like diamonds. A great girl, Grandpa. What's that?
Well, that is a painting of Mr. Demeter. Penny painted it.
Stinks.
Yes, I know. How do you like that?
What is that?
Oh, she's an actress. A friend of Mrs. Sycamore.
She is drunk, no?
Yes. And how are you doing, Doc?
Magnificent! Life is chasing around beside me.
Tears, huh? What's new in Russia? Any more letters from your friend in Moscow?
And just look at him. I saved for you to spend. They have sent him to Siberia.
They have, huh? How does he like it?
He has escaped. He's escaped and gone back to Moscow. He will get them yet if they do not get him. The whole Soviet government. I could just take the whole Soviet government in.
I'm sorry I'm late, Mr. Klinkoff. I'll get into my dancing clothes right away.
Tonight, my Pavlova, you will really look. Tonight we will take something new.
Is Essie making any progress for Linkoff?
Confidentially, she stinks.
Well, as long as she's having fun.
You sure do take a Reva, Mr. Colcott. She's in there laughing her head off.
She's a great woman. Donald, what do you think of the Soviet government?
So, what, Mr. Colcott?
I withdraw the question. What do you think of this government?
Oh, I like it fine. I'm on relief, you know.
Oh yes, as you like it.
Yes, sir. Only thing is, you have to go around this place every week and get it. Sometimes you have to stay in line pretty near a half hour. Government ought to run better than that, don't you think, Grandpa?
Well, the government ought to stop sending me letters. Let me see. They want me to be at the U.S. Marshal's office on Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock. Look at that.
Ah. Income tax. They've got you, Grandpa.
Yes, it seems they want me to pay them a lot of money so as to keep Donald here on relief.
You don't say. You mean, you're gonna pay him from now on?
Well, that's what they want.
That I can come here and get it, instead of standing in line?
No, Donald. I'm afraid you're going to have to waste a full half hour of your time every week.
Well, I don't like it. Breaks up my week.
He should have been in Russia when the revolution came. Then he would have stood in the line. And bread lunch. Oh, Grandpa, what they have done to Russia. Think of it. The Grand Dutch. Olga Katrine. She's a cousin of Zod's. She's away at the child's restaurant. I was baked beans from her only yesterday. It broke my heart, Grandpa. It's a crazy one.
Oh, the world's not so crazy, Polycarp. It's the people in it. Life is kind of simple if you just relax.
How can you relax in times like these?
Well, if people would relax, there wouldn't be times like these. That's just my point. The trouble is, don't forget that. I know I did. I was right in the thick of it. Fighting and scratching and clawing. It was a regular jungle. And then, one day, it just kind of struck me. I wasn't having any fun.
Oh, so you did what?
Well, I just relaxed. 35 years ago that was. And I've been a happy man ever since.
Well, little Alice, I have not seen you present my congratulations.
Thank you.
May you be happy and have many children. That is my prayer for you.
And why does that?
Love, love is all that is left in this world, Grandpa.
Yes, there's plenty of that.
And soon Stone will take it away too. I tell you.
Seems so nice to get into my art things again. They still all go right, don't they, Grandpa?
Yes, indeed.
The breath of Paris, Madame Sycamore.
I thank you, Mr. Klein.
I didn't know you was working for the WPA.
Oh no, Donald. You see, I used to paint all the time.
It happened again. There's a man following me every place I went.
Nonsense, Ed. It's your imagination.
So is it? He follows me every time I go out to deliver candy.
Well, maybe he wants a piece of candy.
It's alright for you to laugh at me. He's following me.
You do not know what following is. In Russia, everybody is following. I was followed right out of Russia.
Of course. You see, the whole thing is just your imagination.
Oh, maybe.
Ah, here we are.
Where do you want this?
Put it here, Mr.
He's the first movement up your head is out.
Okay.
Has something happened to your figure here these 8 years?
I think so.
Yes, Miss Wellington, yes? Oh dear. I'm sorry I'm late playing golf. I couldn't find my slippers.
We have a hot night for a pipe of love. But art is only achieved through perspiration.
Why, that's wonderful, Mr. Blanco. Art is only achieved through perspiration.
Well, yes, but it helps if you've got a little talent to go with it. I only made 2 bullseyes last night. I've got you better than that.
Pirouette, pirouette. Come. You can do it as many years. At last. One trésor. No, Grandpa. You cannot relax with the Tsar in power. The Tsar relaxed, and what happened to him?
He was too late.
Mr. Kalinkov! Mr. Kalinkov!
The Tsar had not relaxed. The Grand Duchess. Old Katerina would not be selling baked beans today.
Mr. Kalinkov!
I'm sorry to go back to Pirouette.
Did you pull on your stomach, Mr. Peanut? Yes, that's right.
A little prayer. A little prayer with the hands. The whole body must be free. And help us with the music. The music must be free too. How do you do?
How do you do?
Are we too early? No, it's perfectly all right. Come right on in. We're glad to see you.
Yes, but we thought it was tomorrow night. Tomorrow night?
What?
Now, it's perfectly all right. Just make yourselves comfortable.
Tony, how could you possibly do?
Really, Tony, this folks are embarrassed.
Not at all. Why, we were just spending a quiet evening at home. That's all. Now, don't let it bother you. This is Alice's mother, Mrs. Sycamore. Alice's sister, Mrs. Carmichael. Mr. Carmichael. Mr. Kolenkoff. And of course, Mr. Divina.
Don't mind me, I'll take my costume right on.
Mr. Divina. Would you go downstairs and tell Mr. Sycamore to come right up? Tell him Mr. and Mrs. Kirby are here.
Be sure to put his pants on.
Excuse me, please.
Thank you. I'll tell Alice that you're... Alice, dear! Alice! Will you come down, dear? We've got a surprise for you. Wow.
Mrs. Kirby, may I take your wrap?
Oh, well, thank you. You're perfectly sure that we're not...
Don't be alarmed, Mrs. Kirby. They're perfectly harmless. Take them into the kitchen, Ed.
Of course. You see, we're so used to having them around the house. Well, I'm sorry to trouble you, but the snake...
I feel very uncomfortable about this, Tony. How could you have done such a thing?
I'm sorry, Dad. I thought it was tonight.
It was very careless of you. Very.
Oh, now, Mr. Kirby, anybody can get mixed up.
Penny, how about some dinner for these folks? They came for dinner, you know.
Oh, please, don't bother. We're really not hungry at all. Oh, but it's not a bit of bother. Ed, tell Donald to run down to the A&P and get half a dozen bottles of beer and some canned salmon. Do you like canned salmon, Mr. Kirby?
Oh, please don't bother, Mrs. Sycamore. I have a little indigestion anyways.
I'm sorry. How about you, Mrs. Kirby? Do you like canned salmon? Oh, I'm very fond of it. Or you can have frankfurters if you'd rather. Either one will do. Well, make it frankfurters and some canned corn and some Campbell's soup. Got that, Ed?
Okay.
And make sure he hurries. The A&P is just around the corner, and frankfurters don't take any time to boil.
And this is Alice's father, Mr. Sycamore. Mr. and Mrs. Kirby.
How do you do?
I hope you forgive my appearance.
just before the 4th of July, he always makes firecrackers.
Oh, darling, I'm the most dull-witted person in the world. I thought it was tonight.
Why, Tony, I thought you... I'm so sorry, I can't imagine why I wasn't... Have you all met each other?
Yes, indeed.
How do you do, Mrs. Kirby? I'm afraid I'm not very presentable.
Darling, you as well.
Of course she does. Don't let this upset you a bit, my dear. We've all just met each other a night sooner, that's all.
Yes, but I was planning such a lovely party for tomorrow night.
Well, we'll come again tomorrow night then.
There you are, Alice. Nice together.
I guess so. Well, we'd better see about getting you off some dinner. Oh, that's all done, Alice. That's all been attended to. But Mother, what did you send out for? Because Mr. Kirby sent her some suggestions.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
Of course it's all right, darling.
Yes, I absolutely wanted Alice.
It's not as serious as all that. Just a little indigestion.
Perhaps. It is not indigestion at all, Mr. Crutterby. Perhaps. It's stomach. Oh, sirs.
Don't be absurd, Mr. Flintoff.
You'll have to excuse Mr. Kolenkoff, Mr. Kirby. He is a Russian. And Russians are inclined to look on the dark side. All right. I am Russian. But my friend Russian died from stomach ulcers.
Really,
Mr. Flintoff, Mr. Kirby has indigestion, that's all.
Right, let him wait. You sit down, Mr. Kirby. Make yourself comfortable.
Thank you.
Wow.
Tell me, Mr. Kirby, how do you find business conditions? Are we pretty well out of the depression?
What? Yes, I think so. Of course, it all depends.
But you figure that things are going to keep on improving.
Broadly speaking, yes. As a matter of fact, industry is now operating at 64% of full capacity. As against 82% in 1925. Of course, in 1929.
I was a young lady from Really, who hung by her heels from the ceiling. When she fell on her neck, she muttered my head. It's the most peculiar feeling.
That may seem a bit strange to you. But she's not quite accountable for her actions. A friend of Mrs. Sycamore's, she came to dinner and was overcome by the heat.
Yes, some people feel it, you know, more than others. Perhaps I'd better see if she's all right. Please excuse me. It is awfully hot. Do you usually escape all this hot weather, Mrs. Kirby, up in Maine? As a rule, I had to come down this week, however, for the flower show.
Mother wouldn't miss that for the world. That blue ribbon is the high spot of her year.
I wonder if they had a flower show once. Crazy onions. Remember Alice? That was a garden show, Effie. Oh, yeah. I think she's all right now. Has Donald come back yet? No, he hasn't. Well, he'll be right back, and it won't take any time at all. I'm afraid he must be starved.
Oh no, quite all right. Hello, what's this? I didn't know there were little children in the house.
Oh no, that's mine.
Really? Well, I suppose every man has his hobby, or you use it as a model of some kind.
I just play with it.
I see.
Maybe you'd be better off if you had a hobby like that, Father, instead of raising one.
Yes, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, you tell us about your orchids, Mr. Derby. You know they take 6 years to blossom, don't they? Think of that.
Oh, some of them take longer than that. I've got one coming along now that I've waited 10 years for.
Believe it or not, I was waiting for an orchid.
Ah, yes. Of course, during that time, they require the most scrupulous care. I remember a bulb that I was fond of once.
Donald. Ah, here we are. You get everything, Donald?
Yes, ma'am. Only they didn't have Frankfurt. So I got pickled pig's feet.
Never mind, Donald. Just bring everything into the kitchen. Mr. Kirby, tell them all about your orchids. I'm sure they'd love to hear it. If you'll excuse me for a moment.
Sounds like kind of an expensive hobby, Mr. Kirby, raising orchids.
Yes, it is. But I feel that if a hobby gives one sufficient pleasure, it's never expensive.
Well, that's very true.
You see, I need something to relieve the daily nerves. After a week in Wall Street, I'd go crazy if I didn't have something like that. Lots of men I know have yachts, just for that very reason.
Well, why don't we give up Wall Street?
How's that?
I was only joking.
I think it's necessary for everyone to have a hobby. For more to be than a hobby. Monetary solace. Spiritualism? Now, Mrs. Ruby, everybody knows that's a fake. To me, Mrs. Sycamore, spiritualism is, well, I'd rather not discuss it.
Come now, Penny. I'm sure you have one or two hobbies of your own.
Yes, but that's a silly one.
I don't think it matters what the hobby is. The important thing is to have one.
The idea, a hobby should improve the body as well as the mind. The wrong, but great people. Why? What was their hobby? Wrestling. In wrestling, you have to think quick with the mind, you think quick with the body.
I'm afraid wrestling isn't very practical for most people. I would make a very good showing as a wrestler.
You think I'm great wrestler. You're built for it. Look!
Where are my glasses?
Here they are, Mr. Kirby. Oh, Mr. Kirby. They're broken.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kirby, but the next time you wrestle, you will not wear glasses.
I do not intend ever to wrestle again, Mr. Gunnycoff.
Father, you better sit down.
Blancock, how could you do such a thing? Why didn't anybody stop him? I think, if you don't mind, perhaps we could better. Mr. Kirby, please don't go. I've ordered some scrambled eggs with plain salad. Please don't go.
I did something that was so terrible. Then I apologize.
I can't tell you how sorry I am, Mr. Kirby. If only I'd been here.
That's quite all right.
Of course it's all right, darling. We're not going.
Well, that was exciting for a minute.
Tell us more about your hobbies, Mr. Kirby. You raise many different varieties of orchids.
I'm afraid I've quite forgotten about my orchids, Mr. Vanderhoff.
So sorry, Mr. Kirby.
What? That was so terrible. I threw him on the ball. Kill him.
Please, Mr. Blancroft. I'm I'm sure dinner won't be any time at all now.
Would you like some candy while you're waiting, Mr. Kirby? I've got some freshly made.
My doctor does not permit me to eat candy, thank you.
Oh, please say nothing, Mr. Kirby. Just coconut and marshmallow and fudge. And please.
This house. What is it? Like some bubbling soup. Make some more. Look, send Donald out for some. All right, tell him to hurry. I'm afraid there's a slight delay, but everything should be ready in just a moment.
I'm afraid I put you people through a lot of trouble with my stupidity.
Why, not at all, Tony.
Well, why don't we play a game of some sort while we're waiting?
Oh, that'd be fine.
I have an idea. I know a wonderful chick with a glass of wine.
No, Mr. Belinkoff.
But I'm sure Mr. and Mrs. Kirby would love this game. It's perfectly harmless. But Mother, Mr. Kirby doesn't want it. Oh, he'll love it.
I'm not very good at games, Mrs. Sycamore.
Well, but any fool can play this game, Mr. Kirby. All you do is write your name on a piece of paper. But Mother, Mr. Kirby doesn't want it. Oh, he'll love it. Here you are, Mr. Kirby. Write your name on this piece of paper. And you do the same on this one, Mrs. Kirby. Well, Mother, what is this game? I used to play it in school. It's called Forget-Me-Not. Here you are, Grandpa. Now, I'm going to call out 5 words. Just anything at all. And as I say each word, you put down the first thing that comes into your mind. Is that clear? For instance, if I say grass, you might put down green. Just whatever you think of. See? Or if I call out chair, you might put down table. It shows the reactions people have to different things. You see how simple it is, Mr. Kirby?
Come on, Father. Be a sport. Very well. I shall be happy to play it.
You see, Alice, he does want to play. Well, now then, are we ready?
Ready.
Now remember, you must play fair and put down the first thing that comes into your mind.
I understand.
Everybody ready? The first word is potatoes. Potatoes. Ready for the next one? Bathroom. Bathroom. You got that?
Go ahead.
Ready for the next one? Lust. Nonsense, Alice. That one's all right. Mother, it is not all right. Oh, I don't know. It seems to me that it's a perfectly fair word. You see? And you mustn't interrupt the game.
Oh, may I have that last word again, please?
Lust, Mr. Kirby.
I've got it.
Hi, this is quite a game, isn't it?
Shh, Grandpa. All ready? Honeymoon. Now, Essie. All right. Last word is sex. Mother. Everybody got it? Sex? All right. Now give me all your papers. And everything, Mr. Kirby.
What happens now?
Oh, this is the best part. Now I read out all your reactions.
I see. It's really quite an interesting game.
I knew you'd like it, Mr. Kirby. I'll read your paper first. I'm going to read Mr. Kirby's paper first. Listen, everybody. This is Mr. Kirby. Potatoes, steak, Toothpaste. Well, lust, unlawful. Isn't that nice? Honeymoon. Trip. Yes. Sex. Male. Oh, yes, of course. You are. That's very good, Mr. Kirby.
Thank you. It's more than just a game, you know. It's actually an experiment in psychology, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It shows just how your mind works. Now, let's see how Mrs. Kirby's mind works. This is Mrs. Kirby. Potatoes. Starch. I know just what you mean, Mrs. Kirby. Oh, dear. Bathroom. Mr. Kirby.
What's that?
Bathroom. Mr. Kirby.
I don't quite follow that, my dear.
Oh, I don't know. I just thought of you in connection. After all, you are in there a good deal now. Shame. Well, you do take a long time.
Indeed. I hadn't realized I was being selfish in the matter. Go on, Mrs. Seymour.
This is a very silly game, and I think we have to stop. Yes.
No, please. Go on.
Huh. Who was that? Lust. Human.
Human? Really, Miriam?
I just meant that lust is, after all, a human emotion.
I don't agree with you, Miriam. Lust is not a human emotion. It is to pray.
Very well, Emily, I'm wrong.
Why don't we play 20 questions?
Yes.
No, I find this game rather interesting. Now, what was the next word?
Honeymoon.
Ah, yes. And what was Mrs. Kirby's response?
Honeymoon dull?
Did you say dull?
I just meant, Anthony, that Hot Springs wasn't very gay that season. All those old people sitting on the porch all afternoon. Nothing to do at night.
It wasn't your reaction at the time as I recall it.
It's only a game.
A very illuminating game. Please, go on, Mrs. Sycamore.
Oh, this one's all right, Mr. Kirby. Sex. Wall Street.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know.
You must have meant something, or you wouldn't have written it down.
Just the first thing that came into my head, that's all.
But what does it mean? Sex. Wall Street.
I don't know. Well, it's just that you're always talking about Wall Street. Even when... I don't know what I meant. Would you mind terribly, Alice, if we didn't stay for dinner? I understand, Mrs. Kirby.
Perhaps we'd better postpone the dinner if you don't mind.
But you are coming tomorrow night, aren't you?
I'm afraid we have an engagement tomorrow night.
Yes, perhaps we'd better postpone the whole affair. The hot weather.
I think we're being most ungracious, Father. Of course we'll stay to dinner. Tonight.
I have a very bad headache, Tony.
Come, Tony. I'm sure everyone here understands.
Well, I don't. I think we ought to stay. What?
You're a fool. Ever since you were. It won't. Mr. Kirby, I won't leave the office tomorrow. Or at all anymore.
Darling, what are you talking about?
I'm sorry, my dear. Very sorry. Are you ready, Miriam?
Yes, Anthony.
Darling, you mustn't mind me.
Oh, it's been very nice to have met you all.
Yes, lovely.
Are you coming, Tony?
No, Father, I'm not.
I see. Your mother and I will be waiting for you at home. Good night. You're right where you are, everybody. Don't move.
How dare you? What's all this?
Yes.
What is all this?
I demand an explanation.
Keep your mouth shut, you! Which one is it?
This is him.
Hey, what are you doing?
Ed! What is it? What's going on?
This is an outrage! Shut up! What's your name?
Edward. Carmichael. What does it matter?
What is it? What's happened?
Yes, so what's the boy done, officer?
That door lead to the cellar?
Yes, it does.
Yes. Back! Jim!
Yes, sir.
Take a look upstairs and see what you find.
Right away, sir.
I haven't done anything.
Come here, you. Ever see these before?
You're my circulars?
You print this stuff, huh?
Yes, sir.
You put them in the boxes of candy and get them into people's homes.
For love dreams?
But I didn't mean
You
anything.
did, huh? Dynamite the capsule. Dynamite the White House. Dynamite the Supreme Court. God is the state is God.
But I didn't mean any of that. I just like to print. Don't I, Grandpa?
Hell, officer. I'm sure the government is in no danger from Ed. Printing is just his hobby. That's all. He prints, anything.
He does, eh?
I've never heard of such nonsense.
I refuse to stay here and be treated like punch.
Shut up, you! You're right, Chief. They've got enough gunfire down there to blow up the whole city.
But we only keep still! Everyone in this house is under arrest.
What's that?
Oh, good heavens!
No, officer, this is all nonsense.
There, let me get my
Shut up, all of you!
Seems to be a...
Shut up! Shut up, you drunk old! Shut up! Stop that! Who's that?
That is my...
Appearance in the West Side Court this morning. After spending the night in jail, the defendants, 13 in all, were brought before Judge Callahan and given suspended sentences for manufacturing fireworks without a permit.
Yeah, kept me in the same cell with stripteaser or Westview.
I was in the cell with Mr. Kirby. My, he was mad.
Stripteaser? They were fighting all night.
Oh, a lot about Mr. Kirby here. Anthony W. Kirby, head of Kirby and Company, 62 Wall Street, who was among those apprehended, declared he was in no way interested in the manufacture of fireworks, but refused to state why he was on the premises at the time of the race. Mr. Kirby is a member of the Union Club, the Racket Club, the Harvard Club, and the National Geographic Society. My, he certainly is a joiner.
All them rich men are adults or something.
I suppose after all this, Mr. Tony ain't ever going to marry Miss Alice, huh?
No, sir. And it's too bad, too. Miss Alice sure loves that boy.
Ever notice how rich folks are always getting themselves in trouble?
I'm glad I'm poor.
Me too.
I don't know what I'm going to do with all that food out in the kitchen. Ain't going to be any party tonight, that's for sure.
Ain't we gonna eat it anyhow?
Well, I'm cooking, but no one's going to have an appetite.
I'm hungry.
Well, they ain't. They're all so broke up about Miss Alice.
What's she wanna go away for? Where's she going?
I don't know. Mountain someplace. She's going alright. I know Miss Alice. She gets that look in her eyes.
Too bad, ain't it?
Sure is.
Not even a one what? What?
How's your hand, Mr. Tina? Better?
Yes, it's better. Is there's more olive oil out there?
It's in the salad bowl.
Thank you.
Well, she's going. Nothing anybody said could change her. She's not going to stay away long, is she, Mrs. Seymour? I don't know, Reba. She won't say. It's going to be mighty lonesome around here without her.
How you feel, Mrs. Sycamore?
Oh, I'm alright. Just kind of upset. Perhaps if I do some work, I'll feel better.
Well, I'll leave you alone then, Mrs. Sycamore.
Good morning, Penny.
I can't help it, Flo. Somehow I feel like it's our fault.
It's mine more than yours. All these years I've just been enjoying myself. Or maybe I should have been thinking more about Alice.
Don't say that, Paul. You've been a wonderful father and husband, too.
No, I haven't. Maybe if I would have gone ahead and been an architect or something. Something she could have been proud of. I was thinking that all last night when I was looking at this picture.
But we've been so happy, Paul.
I know. But maybe that's not enough. I used to think it was, but I'm kind of mixed up now.
What time is she going?
Well, the train leaves at 7:30.
Oh, if only she could see Tony. I'm sure he could persuade her.
He won't try. He's been trying all day.
Well, where is he now?
I don't know. I suppose he's walking around the block again. But she won't come.
Well, maybe he could catch her on her way out.
It won't work.
No, I don't suppose so. I feel so sorry for Tony, too. Hello, Grandpa?
Now, Penny, let the girl alone.
But Grandpa?
Oh, suppose she goes to the Adirondacks. She'll be back. You can only take so much Adirondacks, then you come home.
But it's all so terrible, Grandpa.
Yes, in a way. But it has its bright side, too.
How do you mean?
Well, Mr. Kirby getting into the patrol wagon, for one thing. And the look on his face when he and Donald had to take a bath together. I will never forget that if I live to be 100. I warn you people, I intend to.
It was even worse with Mrs. Kirby. When the matron stripped her, there was a burlesque dancer there, and she kept singing a strip song the whole time Mrs. Kirby undressed.
I'll bet you Bar Harbor is going to seem pretty dull to the Kirby this summer. Need any help, Alice?
No thanks, Grandpa. I'm just going to try to see Alice here.
Now, Penny,
I'll bring a big bag down and he's ready up.
Thank you.
Do you want to take some candy along to the train, Alice?
No thanks, Bessie.
Really, Alice? You could be just as along here as you've been in the mountains. You could stay right in your room all the time.
No, Mother.
I need to be by myself,
Away from everyone.
I love you all, you know that. But I just need some time. Alone. I'll be alright.
Father, did you fall into that cab?
I didn't know you wanted one.
I told Mr. McKinnon to tell you, Paul. Didn't he tell you?
Oh, you told me. I forgot.
Oh, I wish I lived in a family that didn't always forget everything, that behaved the way other people's families do. I'm sick and tired of cornflakes and donuts and everything. Why can't we be like other people? Roast beef and 2 green vegetables and doilies on the table. A place you could bring your friends to without.
I'll go see if I can do anything. Tony, talk to her. She's in the kitchen.
Thanks.
No use, Tony.
Alice, please let me talk to you. You're not being fair.
Where'd they go? She walked right out the next came in.
knock the elbow right out of my hand. Now I'm going to start kind of fishy. How are you doing, Mr. Evina? Is your hand still hurting you? No, it's better.
Everything burned up, huh? Downstairs?
Everything. And my broken costume, too. I told you there was a bright side to everything. All except my 23 years back income tax. I get another letter every day.
Say, what are you going to do about that anyway?
Well, I have a kind of idea. I'm not sure it's going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway.
What is it?
Well,
Good evening, everybody.
Why, Mr. Blanca?
okay, call.
The door is open.
Come on in.
You'll excuse my coming today. I realize you're upset.
That's all right, Mr. Blanca.
I don't think I can take a lesson today, Mr. Blanca. I don't want to feel up to it. Oh, so it's your stage dinner, Mr. Blanca.
I'll be happy to, Madame Sycamore. Now, I wonder if I know you well enough to ask you for a great favor.
Of course, Mr. Blanca. What is it?
You have heard me talk about my friend, the Grand Duchess, Olga Catherine.
Yes?
She's a great woman, the Grand Duchess. Her cousin was the Tsar of Russia, and today she's a waitress child to rest at Times Square.
Yes, I know. If there's anything at all we can do, Mr. Blanca.
The Grand Duchess has not had a good meal since before the Revolution.
Well, you must be hungry.
And today, she not only has her day off, Thursday, but it is also the anniversary of a remarkable man, Peter the Great.
Mr. Blanca, if you'd like the Grand Duchess to come to dinner, why, we'd be honored. Oh, yes!
In the name of the Grand Duchess, I thank you.
I can hardly wait to meet her. Where is she now?
She is in the street waiting. I bring her in.
Guys, straight to tonight. That's the dress. How do I look? All right?
If this keeps up, I want to live to be 150.
Grand Duchess, Olga Katrina. Your Highness, permit me to present Madame Sycamore, Madame Carmine, Grandpa, Mr. Sycamore, Mr. Carmichael,
You're most kind.
We are honored to receive you, Your Highness.
I am most happy to be here. Then it's dinner.
Oh, it'll be quite soon, Your Highness. Very soon.
I do not mean to be rude, but I must be back at the restaurant by 8 o'clock. I am substituting for another waitress.
We'll make sure you're on time, Your Highness.
Thank you for the call.
You know, Duchess, I think you waited on me in town once. The 72nd Street place?
No, that was my sister.
The Grand Duchess, Natasha.
I work in Times Square.
No. Quite a lot of your folks working over here now, aren't there?
Oh, yes, many. My uncle, Grand Duke Sergei, he's an elevator man at Macy's. A very nice man. Then there is my cousin, Prince Alexis. He will not speak to the rest of us. He wears a tatty collar. She is a lady's underwear.
When he was selling hot dogs at Coney Island, he was willing to talk.
Colin Cuff, our time is coming. My sister Natasha is studying to become an actress. Uncle Sergei had promised to be a law doctor. Next month, I get transferred to Fifth Avenue Child. From there, it is only a step to France, and then we will be back into the next service.
I think you've got it.
You are telling me?
Ha! Your Highness, do you know the Tsar? Personally, I mean?
Yes, of course. He was my cousin. It was terrible what happened to him, but perhaps it was for the best. Where could he get a job now?
Pravda, that's true.
And poor relations are poor relations. It's the same in every family. My cousin, the King of Sweden, was very nice to us for about 10 years. Then he said, I just cannot go on. I do not blame him. I'm not doing so well myself.
No, of course not. Please excuse me for a minute.
Tell me, Duchess, is it true what they say about Rasputin?
Everyone wants to know about Rasputin. Yes, my dear sir, it is. And how?
You don't say.
Your Highness, we have to watch the time.
Yes, that was not too late. The manager does not like me. He is a communist.
Well, we'll hurry things up. Essie, why don't you go in the kitchen and help me?
I will help too. I'm a very good cook.
Oh, but Your Highness, not on your day off.
I do not mind very till kitchen.
Right through here. You're the guest of honor, Your Highness.
But I love to cook. Come, Colin Cuff. If they have some sour cream and hot cheese, we will make some lintzes.
Ah, lintzes! Come, my Pavlova, we will show you something.
Say, Duchess isn't bad, is she? Hey, Duchess, you mind if I help?
She's got a wonderful face for a mask, hasn't she?
Really, she's a very nice young woman, you know, considering she's a grand duchess.
Yes, it's wonderful when some people can go through and still keep kind of happy.
She made me forget about everything for a minute.
I'd better get that cab.
Wait a minute. Here they are. Completely towing hands. Will you please bring this down for me, right?
Won't you do it?
And please.
All right, bring it down. You know that you have the most stubborn daughter in all the 48 states.
That must be the cab.
Well, if it is, it's certainly wonderful service.
Your house.
Kirby, come right in.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening.
Good evening.
Forgive my intruding. Tony, I want you to come home with me. Your mother is very upset. Very well, Father. Goodbye, Alice. I need hardly say that this is as painful for Mrs. Kirby and myself as it is for all of you. I'm sorry, but I'm sure you all understand.
In a way, yes. And in a way, no.
Grandpa,
Now, I'm not the kind of person who likes to run other people's lives. But the fact is, Mr. Kirby, I don't think these two young people have got as much sense as, well, as you and I have.
How would you please not do this?
Oh, I was only talking to Mr. Kirby. A cat can look at a king, can't he?
You want me to do that for you, Alice?
No, thank you.
The train leaves in a little while, Alice.
Would you please send a cab to 751 Claremont right away, please? That's right. Thank you.
Alice,
Father?
are you ready, Tony?
Mr. Kirby, I suppose after last night, you think that this family is kind of crazy.
No, I wouldn't say that. Although I'm not accustomed to going out to dinner and spending the evening in jail.
Well, you've got to remember, you caught us on the wrong night. Now, tonight I'll bet you nothing will happen. Maybe.
It was not merely last night that convinced Mrs. Kirby and myself that this engagement would be unwise.
Father, I can handle my own affairs. Alice, for the last time, will you marry me?
No, Tony. I know exactly what your father is trying to say. He's right.
No, he's not, Alice.
Alice, you're in love with this boy, and you're not marrying him because we're the kinds of people we are.
Grandma,
Well, all I know, you don't think the two families would work together. Well, maybe they wouldn't. But who says that they're right and we're wrong?
Grandma, I wasn't saying that. I only feel that...
Well, what I feel is that Tony is too nice a boy to wake up 20 years from now with nothing in his life but stocks and bonds.
What's that?
Yes, mixed up and unhappy the way you are.
I beg your pardon, Mr. Vanderhoff. I'm a very happy man.
Are you? I don't think so. Where do you think you get your indigestion from? Happiness? No, sir. You get it because most of your time is spent doing things you don't want to do.
I don't do anything I don't want to do.
Yes, you do. Last night, you said at the end of a week in Wall Street, you're pretty near crazy. Well, why do you keep on doing it?
Why do I keep on? Why, that's my business. A man can't give up his business.
Well, why not? You've got all the money you need. You can't take it with you.
That's a very easy thing to say, Mr. Vanderhoff, but I've spent my entire life building up my business.
What's it got? Same kind of mail every morning, same meetings, same deals, same dinner at night, same indigestion. Where does the fun come in? Don't you think there ought to be something more, Mr. Kirby? You must have wanted something more when you started out. We haven't got too much time, you know. Many of us.
And what do you expect me to do? Live the way you do? Do nothing?
Well, I have lots of fun. Time enough for everything. Read, talk, visit the zoo now and then, practice my darts. I even have time to notice when spring comes around. Well, I don't have to talk to anybody I don't want to. I don't have 6 hours of things I have to get done before I get 1 hour to do what I want to in. And I haven't had bicarbonated soda in 35 years. Now, what's the matter with that?
Matter with that? Well, suppose we all did. A fine world we have. Everyone going to zoos. Don't be ridiculous, Mr. Vanderhoff. Who would do all the work?
Well, there'll always be people who want to work. You can't stop them. Conventions, they'll fly the ocean. There'll always be people down at Wall Street, too. But that's because they like it. From what I see of you, Mr. Kirby, I don't think you're one of them. I think you're missing something.
I'm not aware of missing anything.
Well, neither was I. So I quit. I'd be down at that office at 9 o'clock sharp, every night. No matter how I felt. I'd lie awake at night for fear I wouldn't get that contract. I'd get all worried about the world, too. I'd get all worked up about whether Blaine or Cleveland was going to be elected president. Well, it seemed awfully important at the time. But now, Sure. What I'm trying to say, Mr. Kirby, is that I have had 35 years that no one can take away from me, no matter what they do to the rest of the world. See?
Yes, I do see it. And it's a very dangerous philosophy, Mr. Vanderhoff. It's un-American. And it's exactly why I'm opposed to this marriage. I don't want Tony to come under its influence.
Well, what's the matter with it, Father?
Matter with it? Why, it's downright communism, that's what it is.
You didn't always think so.
I most certainly did. What are you talking about?
I'll tell you what I'm talking about. You didn't always think so because there was a time when you wanted to be a trapeze artist.
Don't be an idiot, Tony.
Oh, yes, you did. I came across those letters you wrote to grandfather. Do you remember those?
No! How dare you read those letters? How dare you?
Why, that's wonderful. Did you wear tights, Mr.
I most certainly did not. The whole thing is absurd. I was 14 years old at the time.
Yes. But at 18, you wanted to be a saxophone player, didn't you?
Tony!
And at 21, you ran away from home because grandfather wanted you to go into the business. It's all down there in black and white. You didn't always think so. Whoa.
I may have had my silly notions in my youth, but thank God my father knocked them out of me. I went into the business and I forgot all about them.
Not altogether, Father. There's still a saxophone in the back of your clothes closet.
There is?
That's enough, Tony. We can discuss this later.
No, I want to talk about it now. I think that Mr. Vanderhoff is right. Dead right. I'm never going back to that office again. I've always hated it, and I'm not going on. And I'll tell you something else. I made a mistake last night. I knew it was the wrong night. I brought you here on purpose.
Tony, well, for heaven's sake.
Because I wanted you to wake up and see a real family, as they were. One that loved and understood each other. You never understood me. You never had the time. Well, I'm not going to make your mistake. I'm clear now.
Clear now? What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not going to be pushed into the business just because I'm your son.
But Tony, what are you going to do?
I don't know. Maybe I'll be a bricklayer. But at least it'll be something I want to do.
That must be the cat.
Ask him to wait a minute, Ed.
Grandpa.
If you don't mind, Alice. Mr. Kirby, I think if you listen hard enough, you can hear yourself saying the same thing to your father 25 years ago. Why, we all did. We were right. How many of us would be willing to settle when we're young for what we eventually get? All those plans we made. Well, what happens to them? There's only a handful of us that can look back and say they came even close. So, before they clean out that closet, Mr. Kirby, I think I'd get in a few good hours on that saxophone.
I think you were pardon, but what would I need to do? How many visitors for dinner?
Your Highness, may I present Mr. Anthony Kirby and Mr. Kirby Jr., the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina.
How's that?
How do you do? Before you make the princess, how many visitors for dinner?
Oh, I'd make quite a stack of them, Your Highness. You can't ever tell.
Good. As our old maid said, Olga, do not be stingy with the princess.
Who did you say that was?
Oh, the Grand Duchess Olga Katrina. She's cooking the dinner.
Oh.
And speaking of dinner, why don't you and Tony both stay?
Well, please do, Mr. Kirby. We've got all that food we were going to have last night. I mean tonight.
It's going to be quite a meal, Mr. Kirby. And, it'll kind of give us a chance to get acquainted. Why not stay?
How about it, Father? Are we staying for dinner?
Why, if you care to, Tony, I'd like it very much.
Now, if Alice will send away that cab, Mr. Vanderhoff.
Well, how about it, Alice? It's going to be a nice crowd. Don't you think you ought to stay for dinner?
I'm staying, Alice. The families ought to get to know each other, don't you think?
Mr. Kirby, are you
Darling.
Grandpa, you're wonderful.
I've been telling you that for years.
Here's another for you, Grandpa. It's in the icebox.
The government.
How do you do, Mr. Kirby?
How do you do?
Would you step into my office, Miss Sycamore? I'd like to do a little digging.
I better go tell that cat.
Well.
What is it, Grandpa?
United States government apologizes. I don't know him a nickel. It seems I died 8 years ago.
What do they mean, Grandpa?
Well, do you remember Charlie the milkman buried under my name?
Yes.
I just told them that they had made a mistake. That I was Martin Vanderhoff Jr. And so they're very sorry, and I may even get a refund.
Why, Grandpa, you're an old crook.
Pardon me. How was it you escaped the income tax?
Tonight, my friends, you are going to eat.
Hello there.
How do you do?
Fine. Glad to see you.
What has happened?
Please relax. That's right. Play something, Ed.
Everything will be ready in a minute to get the dough. Come on, everybody. Dinner. Come on, Mr. Kirby.
Yes, I'm coming.
Essie, stop dancing and come to dinner.
You like Russian food, Mr. Kirby.
But you must be careful with your indigestion.
Nonsense, I haven't indigestion.
How was your trip to the Adirondacks, Miss Sycamore?
When we sit down to dinner in Russia.
Quiet, everybody, quiet. Well, sir, here we are again. We want to thank you for everything you've done for us. Things seem to be going along fine. Alice is going to marry Tony, and it looks as if they'll be very happy together. Of course, the fireworks blew up, but that was Mr. Regina's fault. We all have our help, and as far as everything else is concerned, we'll leave it up to you. Thank you.
I got another letter from Russia. He has escaped.
I'd like to thank you all for coming because without you there wouldn't be a play. And without another person, our directors, Mr. Miller and Mr. Franklin, there wouldn't be a play also. We've got something for you that I can present to you at this time.
Well, you'll get it later.
Go ahead.